Hello and good morning. My name is CJ Gilbert, and you've joined us for Ask a Web Geek. This is my weekly show where we answer any of your questions related to websites, marketing, email campaigns, anything online, any tools, technologies, or websites that you have to use for your business. My name is CJ Gilbert. I'll be your host. We're broadcasting live from the Web Jungle. We're inside the Web Cave, coming to you live from our Facebook group. And we've got our studio audience here, so I'll be talking to them as well as talking to you. We invite questions and feedback and comments as the show goes live. If you're a Twitter person, feel free to tweet along. You can find us Ask a Web Geek on Twitter. I want to introduce you to our animal of the week. Is this hippopotamus? This is a purple hippopotamus, and it's a bank at the same time. So I don't really have a metaphor for you today on this one other than hippopotamus. It belongs in our jungle, and it's purple. We love jungle animals of every color, and it's a bank to save your pennies for a rainy day. That's all I've got there. Let me know if you have any great comments about the hippopotamus. Oh, now I've got a fly bothering me over here. He must have come with the hippopotamus. That happens. Alrighty, we're going to jump right into the slideshow and get the show going. Let me know if you have any comments or questions as we go. That fly is going to be bugging me, but sometimes we have flies in the web jungle, right? That's a thing. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Ask a Web Geek with CJ Gilbert. I'll be your web safari guide. You can find all the information about our show at our website, AaWG006.com. Feel free to drop me an email anytime, cj@AskAWebGeek.com. And all the links to join our Facebook group, find us on YouTube, find us on Twitter, find the podcast. They're all on the website, AskAWebGeek.com. This is the show where we say, what would you like to ask a web geek? You know, I'm a speaker and author, and I teach businesses that your website is your number one tool. Your website is your number one tool to grow and support your business. And if you think of it that way, it will help you attract more customers, make more sales, enhance customer service, increase your efficiency, save time, save money, and ultimately serve your clients better, faster, and easier. In just a few minutes, I'm going to go a little deeper into how your website can do that in a free resource I have available where you can get more information. But first, I want to take just a moment to congratulate you and say that you are doing the right thing right now. If you can hear my voice, that means that you are the kind of person that is looking to improve your business and improve your life, and you're taking a few minutes out of your time, or coupled with your time if you're listening to the podcast, to learn something new, get some new ideas, and improve your business. So I want to take a moment to congratulate you. You're in the right place doing the right thing. Give yourself a little pat on the back. Ask a Web Geek is all over the interwebs. Here's how you can find us in multiple ways. I encourage you to consume this information in repetition in multiple ways. Join our Facebook group. That's where you'll ask questions. And that's also where we go live with the show every Wednesday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. Join us live on the show in our Facebook group, and then subscribe on YouTube to watch the show when it comes out a few days later as a video. You can find it on our YouTube channel, Ask a Web Geek. Please do subscribe to us there, because as soon as we get 100 subscribers, I can go ahead and make a custom URL. Hi, Alex. Thanks for joining us this morning. Then follow us on Twitter, Ask a Web Geek. You're very welcome to tweet along with the show, ask questions if you like Twitter and you use that. I will be able to monitor that, or chat with me there throughout the week, or ask me questions throughout the week there. Perfectly good. Look to hear you on Twitter. And then finally, listen to the podcast. The show, once it's produced as a video, is also produced as an audio podcast, and that goes to all the podcast channels. It's live on our website. You can watch and listen to it there, as well as download the MP3. If you're like me and like to manually manage your podcasts onto your podcast player, you can grab the MP3 directly, keep it forever in your archive. That's totally fine with me. Or use the links to jump over to Apple Podcast or Google Podcasts. And if you have another podcast player, that you use, check us out there. Look us up, Ask a Web Geek. Hopefully you'll be able to find us. If you do not find us on your podcast player of choice, please let me know what that is, and I want to make sure it's available to you. So drop me a line, cj@askawebgeek.com. I want to make sure that you can find us on whatever is your preferred podcast player. And if you found us through the podcast, I would love to hear about that too. You may be the first person that contacts me and says, hey, I found your podcast, and that's how I got plugged into the show. So I'd love to hear from you. Drop me a line, join our Facebook group, tweet us, let me know, and I'd love to chat with you more about how you found us and how you're finding it. Brief disclaimer. You must be willing to have your question or issue addressed in a public forum. If it's possible, we'll look at your website live. We'll do live hands-on training, but I do want to make sure that that's okay with you to show that in our video portion of the show or talk about your specific issue. If it's not, we can do private coaching. My goal is to keep your private information private, and yet you may have questions you want to ask, and we can address them in this public forum, and that's great if you'd like to do that. Keep in mind, this is not legal or professional advice. I am not an attorney. I want you to have an attorney. Please consult your business attorney, your business professional, your CPA, your tax consultant before you make any changes to your business. Please consult a legal or professional attorney or business professional, and you accept responsibility for everything. I will do my absolute best to give you the best information that I have, turn it over to the group, invite our community to give you some feedback, but of course, you're responsible for everything in your business, and please hold us liable for nothing. Who am I? I'm CJ Gilbert. I am the Web Geek. I've had my business since 2004 at Gilbert Studios, and I've been helping business owners in San Diego and beyond with their websites and marketing. Somewhere along the lines, I was talking to hundreds of business owners, and I found this commonality. Most business owners know they need a website, but they have no idea what to do with it. And my intention was just to jot down a couple thoughts on that topic, maybe create like a one sheet or a couple pages of information. And what happened is I accidentally ended up writing a book. This is my book right here, The 5 Golden Keys to Sharpen Your Website. And in this book, I talk about what a website should really be doing for your business. I know that the concept of websites and technology overwhelms a lot of people, creates a lot of anxiety, and I'm not here to use any kind of industry jargon or technical terms or acronyms, HTML, CSS, PHP. This isn't that kind of show. We're not here to talk about the technical aspects. What we're here to do is talk about ideas. We're here to talk about the tools and the technologies that are available to you for your business to make things easier, make you more productive, help you do more business and do better business. In fact, I think it says that on my very next slide. My business is serving your business. I believe through my work, I can empower you to do your work more and better. You're going to do more business. You're going to do better business as a result of our collaboration. So check out my book, if you will. It's on Amazon, 5 Golden Keys to Sharpen Your Website. Here's a quick link to get there. 5 Keys. Is it 5 Keys book? Or it might just be 5 keys.gilbertstudios.com. It's a good thing I was really well prepared for that, right? Let's take a moment and jump right over now and find out exactly what that is. Because we can go right over here to our live browser window, and I'm just going to type in 5 keys. It's 5 keys book. 5 keys book.gilbertstudios.com. 5, the number 5, keys book.gilbertstudios.com. That will jump you right over here to the Amazon page where you can pick up that for Kindle or in paperback. And I'm going to close that before it thinks too hard about that. 5 keys book.gilbertstudios.com is the shortcut link. This is edition number 3. The 3rd edition is now in print. It's approved and it's in print, and I'm holding right here a copy in my hand of the actual book that says 3rd edition along the top. So if you know me locally in San Diego, want to buy a copy, let me know. I can bring that to you if we meet at a local meeting. Otherwise, I'll mail you a copy. Otherwise, check it out on Amazon. You can grab it there. I want you to have all the information, and in just a moment, I've got a free resource where you can get some more of that kind of information. So my business is serving your business. I believe we can do more business and better business together. Keep on the lookout for a golden nugget. You know, our minds are so interesting. As you watch the show or you watch it again later on Facebook and then again even later on YouTube, and then again as a podcast, your brain will point out something new and different every time. Even though you watch the same video, you're really consuming the same show in 3 different ways, but it's the same material. It is a little different. I've got extra stuff in the Facebook group than gets to the YouTube, that gets the podcast. Of course, if you're on YouTube, you see the video. If it's podcast, you just get the audio. So it is slightly different, and your brain does process it in slightly different ways. But the amazing thing is, even though you're watching the show or listening to the same show 3, 4, 5 times, you're going to get something new and different because you are new and different. And can I share with you something that's really interesting? I wasn't sure if I wanted to share this with you or if it would just sound dumb, but I'm going to tell you anyway because I'm way too transparent. So I've been listening to the podcast. You know, I'm a podcast listener. I love podcasts. So I've started listening to my own show as a podcast. That first episode, it's really rough as a podcast, and I acknowledge that. And I thank you for your patience if you made your way through that. Hopefully it's gotten a little better in the subsequent shows. But the thing that's so interesting to me is that I get new ideas from listening to the show. Isn't that fantastic? Because I'm in a different place. A week later, 2, 3 weeks later, listen to the show, hear this wacky guy CJ talking about websites and marketing, and I get new ideas. And it makes me laugh because how silly, right? That I get new ideas from my own show. But again, it's just proof of the way that our brains work. I've been telling this to you every week about consume it in different ways, and you'll get these new ideas. And then I did it. And sure enough, I got new ideas. So it works. It even works for me. It's funny, but it's true. So keep your mind open and on the lookout for that golden nugget, and you'll definitely find it. Grab some paper, draw a line down the middle, maybe just slightly to the right of the middle, label the left side notes and the right side actions. This will help you take notes as we're going on that left side, and then in the right side, you can write out those action steps that you really want to move quickly on, and make sure to star your golden nuggets. Let me check out what our studio audience is saying. Linda has jumped in. Hi, Linda. Good morning. She's saying, you never sound dumb. You have so much value. Thank you. Yes, as we grow, we continue to learn. Isn't that amazing, Linda? Absolutely. And she says, I get new ideas from myself all the time. Isn't that cool? In fact, I want to give this to you as a challenge. If you have a show or a podcast or you do a Facebook Live, do it. Or if you've wanted to, do it. And then watch it later, a week, 2 weeks, a month later, and see what kind of new ideas come from you as you talk about a topic. And you know what? If you don't feel like you're willing to put yourself out there in that way, maybe it's new to you, the concept of recording yourself, I might suggest record yourself in a way that isn't live, that nobody can see you. Maybe record yourself locally on your computer, like a screen share. I can suggest a couple tools if you like. Or record your voice or your audio. Do kind of a pretend podcast just for yourself. You don't ever have to release it to anyone else. You don't ever have to let anyone else hear it. Record yourself talking about a topic for 5, 10, 15 minutes, and then listen to it again a week, 2 weeks, a month later, and see what happens. See what kind of new ideas you might get from listening to yourself talk about a topic that you know, like, and love. So try that as an experiment, and then let me know what your results are. I would love to hear back about that. See if you get some more ideas. Thanks, Linda, for your comments. I invite all of you to keep chatting down there in the comment section. That's perfectly fine. I'm talking to my studio audience, guys. Again, I go live into Facebook with this recording so that we have some live audience, and their comments are going down there. They're talking to each other. So I invite your comments and your feedback. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right, Ask a Web Geek, sponsored by, let me take a quick drink of my water. Let's see who we're sponsored by this week. We're sponsored by RV Robinson's $1 Million Speaker Summit. A couple weeks ago, I talked about what a difference she is making in my life. This is my speaking coach and mentor. She has an amazing system for you that you can use to put your message into her formula, and now your message can reach the world. She teaches us how to use public speaking to enhance our business, become an authority on a topic, get more leads, change people's lives. It's really, really powerful. You can check out the workshop that she's doing. She's doing a speaker summit in the beginning of October. If you can get yourself to Southern California at the beginning of October, this would be very well worth your time. Check out my link to jump you to this information, mdss.gilbertstudios.com. That stands for $1 Million Speaker Summit. mdss.gilbertstudios.com. That's the shortcut link. It is my affiliate link. It will let RV know that I sent you or that you came through our show, and she'll appreciate that very much, and so will I. Go check out that information. Really, really powerful. I've been working very closely with RV for the last 2 years, and it has totally transformed how I operate my business, from being the geek behind the computer and not talking to anyone and being stuck here in the web cave, to getting out there and speaking and talking in front of groups of entrepreneurs and business owners and sharing with them what a website can do. No one's telling them. Nobody is telling them what a website can do in their business. You'd think that would be a common thing to talk about in this digital age where everyone needs a website for their business, but I don't hear anyone else talking about it. So I have to go out there and talk about it. What's that for you in your industry? Is someone talking about your message? Here's the thing. Even if they are talking about your similar topic, they're never going to do it in the same way that you are. RV teaches us that you have a message that only you can share to people who can only hear it from you. And if you do not share that message, it could be lost for all eternity. You have a responsibility to share your message with your audience, and it could save their business, their life, or even their soul. Your message matters. Check out RV's work, mdss.gilbertstudios.com. I cannot praise it enough. I cannot tell you how amazing her speaking system is. You don't need to worry about how to speak. You don't need to worry about having a fear of what to speak or how to speak. She has a formula. You take her formula, you plug your own stuff into it, and away you go. It's amazing. Check it out, mdss.gilbertstudios.com. I have another resource to share with you. This one's a free resource. This is my sales coach and mentor, Eric Lofholm. He does a daily motivational call, which you can plug into at this address, amcall.gilbertstudios.com. Again, that's AM, like the morning time, like it's 9:30 a.m., amcall.gilbertstudios.com. And I wanted to bring this back to your attention because he just started a new series yesterday going through Napoleon Hill's 17 principles of success, is it? I want to say they're success principles. And it is amazing. The first one yesterday, really, really powerful. I was on the live call again this morning. Really great stuff. It starts with that 15-minute message, and then there's also a YouTube video you can watch to watch Napoleon Hill himself talking about these principles. Absolutely fascinating. So I wanted to bring it back to you. It is never too late to plug into this. This is a resource that lives forever on the internet. So it doesn't matter if you're hearing me today live on the call, or in a week or 2 weeks or a year from now, these resources are still going to be available. So go to amcall.gilbertstudios.com. You'll land on his page, give him your email address, and he's going to send you all the information on how to plug into the live call if you want to do it that way, the phone number and the passcode to get in, or the YouTube channel if you just want to watch the YouTube channel later, or the website link if you want to listen to the audio podcast later. Those are all available. And depending on my day, it is my goal to be on that live call every morning. Sometimes it doesn't happen. I can't make it Thursdays because of a conflict, and occasionally another day during the week I can't make it. But I always go to that website and listen to that audio podcast later that same day. That's what I did yesterday. Couldn't make it to the live call, listen to it later. Powerful, powerful stuff. Watch the YouTube video. Amazing. So I really encourage you guys to check that out. amcall.gilbertstudios.com and get plugged in. Linda says she has a podcast that she hasn't released yet. That's cool. That's very cool. You recorded a couple and you're just kind of checking them out for yourself. You know, they say to do that. If you're interested in a podcast, here, bloop bloop. I may have double clicked here a couple times, and my computer's, and we're waiting. What was I talking about? I was talking about Linda. Linda's saying that she has a podcast she hasn't released yet, and I was just saying that they recommend, if you're interested in making a podcast but you're scared, record a couple episodes. Like I said, maybe the test one, but intentionally record your first 3 to 5 episodes before you even get to the point of publishing them, and just see how you feel. If you like how it came across, you can release them. If you don't like how it came across, no problem. Delete them and do it again. It's no problem. But do it and see what you think about it. And I might recommend do it and just get it out there, because there's only one way to start, and that's by starting. Alrighty, I've got some great stuff for you today. Let's keep going deeper into the web jungle. Buckle up, stay hydrated. I've got my water and coffee here. Maybe you have some tea. All right, our featured topic of the week. Every week I bring you a new topic or resource that you can plug into and get some information. My hippo keeps getting in the way over here. Hippo. He's going to have to move over here because he keeps getting in the way of my water. Okay, our featured topic of the week is my free video workshop. Garrison, this is the answer to your question earlier. Let me zip back to Garrison's question. He says, do you have a guide for somebody that might be building their very first website and giving them suggestions on what are the top 5 or 8 or 10 must-haves on your website? Yes, I do, Garrison. It is my book, 5 Golden Keys to Sharpen Your Website, available on Amazon now, 5keysbook.gilbertstudios.com. But if you don't have the $10 for the ebook version, if you don't have the $20 for the print version, that's okay, because I have a free resource for you. Plug into immediately. It's my free video workshop, which is located on one of my websites, and the link isn't here, but I'll tell you what that is in a minute. Let me tell you what this workshop is. I took the principles of my book, and I used to present this in a 1-hour webinar format. And I decided in this year, this era, we're moving fast. We may not have a time to sit down to watch a whole hour webinar all at once. I understand that. So what I did is I made this into a series of videos. So as you can see here, if you're watching the video, there are 7 videos. Each one of these is less than 10 minutes on average. And they're going to each go over a separate topic, a separate piece of information that you need. And they do build on each other. So make sure to watch them in order. When you sign up for the workshop, it's totally free. You'll just pop in your email address. And then what happens is check your email, and you're going to get an email from me confirming that you did want to receive information from me. It's called an opt-in. Make sure that you yourself put in your email address and it's spelled correctly. That's important to me. I want to make sure that you specifically wanted to be on that list and get this information. And number 2, we've got your information right. Once we've confirmed that, I send you another email that says you have a choice. Would you like to receive these videos once a day, or would you like to receive them once every 3 days? And then that lets you make the call of when you want that reminder video. Of course, you could watch all the videos together if you wanted to, or you could just consume one a week or one a month. Totally your choice, whatever you can fit into your schedule. But I do recommend you make it a regular occurrence so that you can consume all of the material. So I give you the choice. Do you want the email reminder once every day and you'll get it 7 days in a row, boop, 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 boop? Or do you want it once every 3 days and then it'll be spread over 21 days to get those 7 videos, 7 emails, bap, 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 video 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so check that out. And then you can see kind of a little bit of the glimpse of what each one's about. I've got the 5 keys. It does go over all 5 of the keys. It goes over some tips and helpful information from each one of the keys, as well as additional bonus resources and material. So you can find out all about this by going to this website link right here, mywebsitesafari.com. That's mywebsitesafari.com. WebSiteSafari.com. My website, safari.com. Free video workshop. Sign up today and just start going through those videos one at a time. 10 minutes at a time. 10 minutes. Take a bite. We were talking about that last week. Take one bite at a time. Watch the video. There's usually some questions or an exercise or something for you to do also at the end of the video too. So make sure to do that as well. Let me know if you have any questions as you go. There's a comment area down there where we're having a chat underneath each one of the videos. Jump into that chat. Give us your comments and feedback. We'd love to hear more about it. All right, it's now time to go into the main part of our show, Ask a Web Geek. And to begin with, I wanted to go over all the great questions that have already been asked on our podcast. So today, I'm going to give you just a brief summary of two things. Number one, all the questions that we've talked about in our episodes so far. So if there's something you missed or you wanted to go find it, you'll be able to jump right to it because you'll know where it is. And number two, which we're actually going to do right now, is take a look at the conversations that are already happening in our Facebook group. If I have an answer to your question, by all means, I'll give it to you. But I also am inviting our studio audience, our Facebook group, to give us your information. I don't know everything. I'm the web geek, but I don't know everything that's out there. The web's pretty big. And I love our community. Great, great ideas, amazing business people, amazing entrepreneurs, and they're sharing with us their experience on different topics. So we've got a couple questions in here. Let me just really quickly review what some of these are. Melissa asked if anyone's had any experience with PR web for backlinks. We have questions on project management tools, customer relationship management tools, and Peter invited us to start this conversation about some good books and resources for offline, inexpensive guerrilla marketing techniques. What are relatively cheap things that business owners and independent professionals can do to gain greater exposure and reach in their local areas? What can they do locally offline to increase that? So let's jump into our Facebook group now. I should have it right over here. Let's flip over there now, and I just want to show you these questions, where they exist live, and where you can answer them. Here we are. Here's the Facebook group, and I am currently in the announcements section. So let's just start. Let's start here at the bottom. Come to this guy right here and drop us a link, if you would, to your Facebook business page. We invite you to introduce yourselves to the group and let us know who you are and where we can find you, and share your business page with us so that we can all like each other's pages and support each other. You can see here we've got a lot of great comments and links underneath here. So check this out. Check out everyone's Facebook pages, and we will look for you to join that group and share with us more about what you do. Here's a question that someone asked: what customer relationship management tools have you tried or are you using? So this is known as a CRM, customer relationship management. There are a couple things it's called, but basically the idea is to track your incoming prospective people through the pipeline, through the sales process. And this software helps you do that. So let's check out what some of our community members have said. On the show, I mentioned one that is on my resource page, Green Rope. And there's a couple others. Alex, who may still be on the call with us right now, says he works with HubSpot, ActiveCampaign, and Klaviyo. Each has pros and cons. Donna says that she started using lessannoyingcrm.com and really likes it. Garrison said that was a pretty good one with really good tutorials. Pam shared that she's recently purchased Act. She used it at a previous job. It's familiar to her, and she likes that one. Melissa chimed in and says she uses Green Rope, and they're a local company here in San Diego. They're similar to Infusionsoft, but without the huge expense. She's been using them for 5 years and really liked it. They have a local rep that checks in with you. I happen to have a link to that, greenrope.gilbertstudios.com. Many of the things that I talk about, you'll either find them on askawebgeek.com in our show notes, or on my resource page, gilbertstudios.com/resources. So I do have Green Rope there, and I may have added another one by the time you see this. So some really great conversations. If you have another CRM that you like, someone else mentioned Salesforce. It's not a comment, but it was involved in the question he asked, if anyone knew about another one other than Salesforce. So let us know. Do you use any of these CRMs? Green Rope, HubSpot, ActiveCampaign, Less Annoying CRM, Act, Green Rope. Do you use any of those? Do you use another one of those? Let us know. We'd love to hear what you use and what you like. Then we started talking about project management tools. What are some tools you can use to manage your projects, even with a group of people, or maybe even for yourself? I referred to a couple that are on my resource page. Simpleology is a to-do list on steroids that I use every day. That link again is on my resource page. And Trello is another one that I'm familiar with, and Slack. Those are other ones I've used in different teams and different projects. But let's see what other people are saying. Garrison says he has used Trello. Simple and easy, but there's no time tracking. Alex mentions Monday.com is the one that he uses, and he uses an integration with Clockify that tracks the time and then feeds the report to the client dashboard. Peter mentioned he's going to use Slack or Discord soon for a K-plug management project. And Peter also mentions there's a ton of resources you can do just from using the Microsoft Office products, between Outlook, Calendar, Resources, Tasks, Assigning, and by sharing Excel. And while we're at it, I might as well mention the Google tools as well. If you've got a Gmail account or you've got a G Suite account, you also have access to all of the Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Spreadsheet, Google Sheets. All of those tools as well are good for collaboration. So let us know, do you use anything else for your project management tools? Let us know if there's another resource that you really like. Come to our announcements page here and leave us a comment. We'd love to hear more about it. Here's the question from Melissa. She wanted to know if anyone's been using PR Web or a similar service. The one I've used before is called 24/7 press release, 24-7pressrelease.com. I believe that's it. That's the one I typically use to blast out press release. And the thing I found about press releases is it's a great way to spread a news story right away, get a lot of eyeballs on your story, but they may not last on those websites. Once they're there and they've kind of gone through their news feed for a week or so, they might fall off and just no longer be on that website. So because of that, I don't think it's necessarily very good for backlinks, whereas it is good for getting your message out there and sharing your story and getting a lot of eyeballs on something. So that's typically the purpose of a press release. And then finally, the comment that was started by Peter, he wants to know some offline, inexpensive guerrilla marketing techniques. We had a couple answers. I recommend local networking. That's where I met Peter, and many of you is in our local networking groups. I've got a couple blogs, articles about that on my website, gilbertstudios.com/blog. You can read one article about networking in general and how it could help you, and then a second article about the groups specifically in San Diego that I like the most, and also that I've come across. And then a few other suggestions. Nancy popped in and said that she knows that driving around in Southern California can be a difficult task sometimes, so she likes to have a virtual tea and connect with people through Zoom. What a great idea. That's a great way to use our online tools in somewhat of an offline way, because it's kind of like you're still seeing the person. Just like we've got this ability right here for me to pull up my camera and have this kind of face-to-face with you through our computers, you can do the same thing with Zoom. It's a fantastic software. You can plug it together. You could just use it for audio. You could just use it for the video conference, or you can screen share if there's websites or things that you want, documents you want to look at or work on together. I love doing that with clients because it helps us work together on something on their website, make live changes to it, etc. So a really great tool and resource that I like is Zoom. Thanks, Nancy, for that one. And Jason also popped on and said, make sure you fill out your Google business page. That's a great tip. Absolutely. Especially if you have a brick and mortar store. If you have a store with a physical location or an office with a physical location that you want people to come to, you must be on Google Maps. And that is a free thing that you can create and claim through Google Maps. It's through the Google My Business. Just Google My Business, and you'll find that. Claim your listing. It's free. But let me know if you have any help, because there are some extra fields you may not know what to do with. And Google's just the first of many. There's 80 of these websites that you should have your information on and correct, and I've got another tool to help you with that. So let me know if any of those things can be helpful to you. Thanks to everyone in our community. Really appreciate it. We want you to join us. Come to our Ask a Web Geek Facebook group. Jump in and on any of these topics if you've got answers. We want to hear what tools and resources you're using. We want to hear what ideas you may have for our community. So please do join us there. And then let's see what's next for us this morning. So really great, everyone. Okay, now I want to take a, hi everyone, there's my big cam. I'll take you through that. But what I really wanted to get to was this one right over here. So in the final portion of our show, hi studio audience, let me know if you have any questions, comments, if we're still going down here or not. I think we're doing well. What I want to do now is just do a real quick run through of our previous shows and some of the questions that we went over. Like I was explaining to our gang here at the beginning, there's not exactly a linear progression of questions in this show. It's been whatever people have been asking about. So I thought it'd be a good idea in this show to just give you a real quick recap of what the answers were, what the questions were rather. So if you want to learn more about a particular topic, you can go back and find it really easily. So this is just a real quick overview of that. In episode 1, we had a question asked about a scheduling tool that integrates with Apple. Anushka asked that question, and we talked about a great one. We talked about 2 of them that I've used in different websites, and which one is my favorite and why. I showed you what that looks like on the front end for the customer, your client coming to you, and also what it looks like on the back end for you to create those event types and how to program them and how to schedule them and how to mark that time available on your calendar or not mark that time as busy so no one can have that time. So if you need a scheduling tool, that's a great resource. Go check out episode 1. Episode 1's a little rough as I'm still playing around with the technology, and I made the mistake of waiting for people to come live on the show before doing it, and I've changed it since then. So if you can battle your way through episode 1 or just skip to the part where I'm talking about the scheduling tool, you'll get a lot of good information from there. So this is a great tool that you can use to schedule appointments, or rather have people schedule appointments with you in an automated way. This is the same call that Melissa asked about the PR web, and I decided to create this announcement section where people could continue to answer these questions. So that's where Melissa's question came from and where it ended up. We also had a question from Lee on how to use a personal domain name with Gmail. This one's a little more complicated, and I was not able to show you what my settings look like on the back end, and yet I still talked about kind of some general topics of how to do that, how to go about it, the general idea behind it, different ways you can do it. You can purchase G Suites to set it up right from the get-go, or if you already have a Gmail account that you use, there are ways to do it if you can coordinate that with a website host. And I can provide that information for you as well. If you need a website host, I can help you with all those pieces. So that was episode 1. Episode 2, we heard back from Anushka. She took action on that question, integrated that scheduling tool and gave us a shout out on our social media. So thank you again for doing that, Anushka. Really appreciate your comments and feedback, and congratulations on taking action. Even in our first show, she put that into place and found some forward progress in her business, and we're really proud of her. We had a few more questions come up. Website versus funnel. Which is best and why? I think it was Linda that asked this question. Which is best and why? And I talked a little bit about a website versus a sales funnel and how a website really should be a sales funnel. But there might be other reasons you want something specific. This is also where we got those great questions on client management systems and project management systems, which then became those comments we just went over in our announcement section. But if you missed that initial conversation, go back to episode 2 where you can hear my thoughts on a couple of them, and we invite your feedback as well. In episode 3, we have the question, can you from Betty, who wanted to know one main website versus multiple landing pages. And we talked a little bit about why you may want to do one or the other, or why it might make more sense to have one main website, but then have multiple landing pages for different things, for different topics. And I didn't intend for these two topics to go together, but I realized later that Linda's question from episode 2 about the website versus the sales funnel, it went very, very nicely into Betty's question about one main website versus multiple landing pages, because you may want all of the above. You may want one main website to kind of present things, and yet multiple landing pages or sales funnels to do a specific thing. And then Anushka asked us the question, how do I make a PayPal button? How can I make a buy now button for my website? So this was one of the greatest things we've ever done here, I think. We went live into my PayPal account and we created a button in real time for you to watch. I went over a couple of the steps that you may not even know existed or was necessary, a couple pages you should build on your website first before you make that button. We made that button in real time. I put it onto the Ask a Web Geek website so you could watch that happen. You could watch me copy and paste that code and make that button appear live. And then after that show, I took that button code and found a permanent home for it. So now that button is on the home page of AskAWebGeek.com. And you can see how we made that button by watching episode 3. And there's a link to it also. Here's the PayPal button, and then there's a link that says we made this in episode 3. Go check out how we did it. In episode 4, Garrison asked the question about how to add a video to only a portion of your Facebook cover photo. Peter jumped in, answered the question before I even could get to it, but we spent a few minutes talking about how you might want to do that and how you go about it and the specific dimensions you'll need to have to do that. Peter also asked in this episode that question about cheap offline marketing things that business owners can do, which prompted that announcement question. So please chime in with your comments on that. And then Melissa asked about affiliate marketing programs. I spent a few minutes talking about how great affiliate marketing programs are for people who want to jump in to sell other people's products and services and earn a commission while doing it. And we also answered Melissa's specific question, which is how she can become a person who offers her products and services for affiliates to refer to. And we talked a little bit about that too. You can either get a software or plugin that integrates with your website, which I think is probably the best long-term strategy, or you can sign up with one of these companies that give you a little bit of a code to plug into your site here and there, but for the most part, they're running the whole thing for you. And there's pros and cons to both. So check out episode 4 if you have questions on affiliate marketing, and we go into a little more information on that. And then finally in episode 5, last week, we talked about how to switch between personal and business profiles when you're responding to comments on your Facebook page. Julie was confused because there's times where she goes to make a reply to a comment and it's her personal page, it's her personal profile, Julie, and she wanted it to be her business page, A Cleaner Space. And so I talked a little bit about what that looks like when you're on the computer versus what that looks like in the mobile And I don't even know if I had all the answers for her, and I haven't heard back from her yet if she's seen that. So Julie, if you're hearing me now, let us know how that goes, if any of our tips helped you, because it is a difference. It's a big difference between you're on your desktop or laptop versus you're on your mobile phone. It's a totally different layout, and I shared a couple tips that help me, and they might help you when you're on your mobile phone to get the best results. It might not be totally intuitive. It might not work exactly how you want it to, but hopefully you can still make it do what you want it to, even if it requires a couple extra steps. And then finally, we answered a question from Kristen, who wanted to know, what are the best times of day to send email newsletters? And we talked a little bit about that. And the answer is it's all about your audience, when they're most receptive to receive an email from you. And whether that's personal or whether that's business, or whether it should be on a weekend or whether it should be in the middle of the week, we talked a little bit about that. And I shared my own personal times and days that I send them, as well as some other ideas. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of an overview of what we've talked about in the show. And if you have any comments on any of the above, please let me know. I would love to hear from you. I would love to get an email from you, cj@askawebgeek.com. Give me some feedback. Let me know what you've thought about any of those shows. If any of those answers have been helpful, we invite you to jump into our Facebook group so you can jump into those comments and those conversations that are ongoing there. Let us know what you think about any of those tools and resources. Maybe you have another suggestion that's going to be helpful for our audience, and we invite you to let us know what you think about that, as well as any of those previous shows, tools. If you found something helpful, if you had follow-up questions, if something helped you get so far, but then you reached another step and now you have more questions that you need to get into your next step. The internet is a jungle. I say it all day, every day to people. And I build websites. I help them with this big, massive thing they need to do to represent their business in a professional way in this digital era. But there's other tools that I know that you're using, other websites you have to use, social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, the Googles, all these different sites, and you might have something very industry specific that you need to use. Are you a real estate agent? Are you a lender? Are you what is your business? We've got all kinds of people on the call. We've got graphic designers and personal and business coaches. We've got a virtual assistant. We've got weight loss professionals, nutrition professionals, health coaches. We've got acupuncturists. We've got interior designers. We've got so many people in our community, and we're all in different industries, but we're all kind of doing the same thing. We have a tool, we have a service, we have a product that we want to use to help other people, and there's tools and technologies we can use to save time, save money, and ultimately serve our clients better, faster, and easier. And that's what I want from you too. Let me know if you have any comments, gang, down here in the studio audience. Hi, Emily. Glad you made it today. Thanks for joining us. We're just finishing up the show here. So do let me know if you guys have any comments down there. I want to remind you that our show this week sponsored by a few wonderful, wonderful people. Number one, RV Robinson. Check out what she's doing at mdss.gilbertstudios.com. This is the $1 Million Speaker Summit. It is a once-a-year event. For you, it might be a once-in-a-lifetime event. If you can get yourself to Southern California at the beginning of October, it'd be well worth your time. Sign up using my link, mdss.gilbertstudios.com. I don't want to tell you about an early bird special or a Labor Day special or anything, because those things could end any second. So don't delay. Jump on that link right now and learn more about RB's program, mdss.gilbertstudios.com. It's going to be a fantastic event. I hope to see you there. And I also want you to check out this free resource, which is amazing, amcall.gilbertstudios.com. This is to start your day right with a free motivational call by Eric Lothholm. Cannot recommend this resource enough to you. Jump into it today. Go to amcall.gilbertstudios.com. Give him your email address. He'll send you all the information on how to join the live call, how to watch it on YouTube, what the website address is. He'll get all those information to you, and you'll have it forever in your inbox so you can refer to it anytime. And just yesterday, he started a brand new series teaching Napoleon Hill's 17 Principles of Success. They are dynamite. I highly recommend you jump in. If you want to start at the beginning of that series, you're going to look for yesterday's date, which is September 3rd. Go to the September 3rd call. That's class number 1 for the Napoleon Hill series. Really, really good stuff. I really encourage you to check that out. AM call, like 10 a.m., amcall.gilbertstudios.com. And very finally, I want you to check out my free video workshop. This is a free resource that I want you to get plugged into and put these principles to work in your business. It's going over the 5 golden keys to sharpen your website one bite at a time. It's a free resource. You can sign up today at mywebsitesafari.com. mywebsitesafari.com. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I'm glad you were with me here today. My name is CJ Gilbert. I am the Web Geek. Let me know if I can build you a website for your company. I work with small business owners, entrepreneurs, speakers, coaches, authors. I believe that you have a product or a service that's reaching people, but it's not reaching enough people. Let me build you a website. Let's work together to create a website or enhance the website you have now to reach more people, make more sales, improve your customer service, which saves you time, which saves you money, and ultimately all these things add up to help you serve your clients better, faster, and easier. Maybe your website's perfect and you don't need any more work on it. I doubt that. All websites need constant work. So check out this video series to learn more about that. But if maybe your question today isn't about your website, maybe your question is about something else on the internet, something else that you need help with. It could be a tool. It could be your website. It could be something on your website. Hey, I'm in WordPress and I've got this thing and I don't know how to do this thing. Let me know. If you don't mind us working on it live on the call here, we will. And I'll be happy to do that. Or maybe it's related to something else, email marketing or something else that you're using for your business, social media. You don't know how to get started with Instagram. You don't know what to do with your LinkedIn profile. You can't get a picture to upload somewhere. You think you've got the right picture, but when you go to upload it, it's not the right format. It's not the right size. What are the problems you're dealing with? What can't you do? The internet's a jungle and there's some vines in your way. They're getting in your way. They're holding you back. Let me use my really sharp machete, get those out of the way for you and get you through where you want to go. So check out all the links and details for our show, AskAWebGeek.com. Drop me a note, CJ@AskAWebGeek.com. Join us in our Facebook group. Leave a comment there. However you do it, tweet us, leave a comment on YouTube. However you do it, let me know what your question is. I'm here to serve you and your business. I'm here to help your message reach more people. I believe that collectively we can help millions. I won't be able to personally help 1 million people throughout my career, but I can work with maybe 1,000, and those 1,000 can each work with another 1,000, and so on and so forth. And so together we are helping millions of people around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time and attention. I'm looking for your final comments as we wrap up the show. Let me just thank everyone who's dropped by this morning. Emily, thanks for being here. Linda, really appreciate your support and your questions. Alex, thanks for dropping by. Janara, thanks for being here. Garrison is my rock. Thank you for being here every week, man. I really appreciate you. Jeannie joined us this morning. Thank you for being here, Jeannie. Thanks to everyone else who's contributed a question and something to the show. Melissa, Betty, Peter, Linda, really appreciate all of your feedback. Nancy gave us some great answers. Really appreciate your work today. So thank you so much for joining our group and for joining our community. Please let me know how I can serve you and your business. If I can build you a website, I would love to. If I can pass you on to another one of these professionals that can help you out. You need a graphic designer? Do you need a new logo? How's your print material? Do you need a new brochure or flyer? I know a great guy that can help you with that. I work very closely with with him, and I would love to give you his name and information. So drop me a line. If you need anything else in your business, a website or not, I know a lot of amazing people in San Diego and beyond that can help you with whatever your needs are. So drop me a line, tweet me, let me know what kind of help you're looking for. If I can answer your question or provide that resource, I will. Otherwise, I'm going to pass you off to somebody else who I know can answer your question. Together, we help each other. Thanks so much for your time and attention. I really appreciate you being here this morning. This has been Ask a Web Geek with your host, CJ Gilbert. You know, at Gilbert Studios, we understand the internet is a jungle. It's too easy to get lost, fall into hidden traps, find yourself distracted going down the wrong path. You need a well-trained guide to lead you through and get you where you want to go. Have a great week. Have a wonderful Website Wednesday. We'll see you next week in the Web Jungle. God bless.